Now, I have changed my tune on this shoe because I didn't think it was that versatile on my first impressions. However, so the scores are in and the testing is complete, and this is the full review of the Brooks Hyperion Max 2. But before we get into it, and if you guys want to support this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. So straight into the quick specs, this is a neutral running shoe marketed by Brooks as an up-tempo training or race day shoe. So coming in at a price in Australia at $300, $180 in the US. Now in the weight, it's had an increase in the weight from last year's model, so it's coming in at 9.1 ounces or 257 grams. That's in your men's size 9. Now in the stack, big increase in the stack as well. We've got 36 in the rear, 30 in the front, and that's going to give us a 6mm drop. Now scores wise, at $300, I still think this shoe is overpriced. I would love to see it about $20 cheaper. That's why it's getting 6.5 out of 10. And in the weight, I know 9 ounces seems quite heavy for a training or a racing shoe. However, it doesn't actually feel that heavy on the foot. That's why it's getting 8 out of 10. And in the upper, so the material that they're using is an engineered mesh. However, it's probably on the thicker side of other materials that you're going to find in other shoes, but it doesn't really affect the breathability. So my toes are still getting quite cold on my runs in this shoe in the winter conditions here in Australia at the moment. But this material, it's quite premium, so the whole shoe just feels quite premium. It's got a good amount of flexibility to it, especially through the toe box, and it's just got enough structure where you need it on this shoe. Solid heel cap, as you can see there, and a cool Achilles flare. Padding wise, minimal amount of padding, but this padding is really soft and plush. You can feel it. It's just, yeah, again, premium materials. The tongue, one of the best features on the shoe. So it's a stretched knit tongue, really stretchy, and it's gusseted, and it does a great job of just holding that foot down on the shoe. So really nice. Laces, upgraded laces here. So they've got those notched laces that you're going to find in some of the other premium race day shoes on the market. So they've got these little notches, and they really do a great job just to cinch the foot down. And on that, the lockdown in this shoe, not an issue whatsoever. Very nice. Now in the fit, this is a performance fit, or it's marketed as a performance fit by Brooks. However, I've found it quite generous considering it's a performance fit. So it's not overly tight, but it's secure enough to hold the foot down, and it doesn't feel like a big baggy or saggy upper. Lengthwise, true to size, and again, it's quite generous through the toe box. The build quality is absolutely excellent, and then in the looks department, it's got to be one of the best looking shoes, again, on the market. And comfort-wise, stepping comfort's okay, but obviously it's designed for performance, this shoe. It's not meant, you're not meant to get a big, plush, squishy feeling when you dive into the shoe. But overall, yeah, one of the best premium quality uppers on the market. It looks great and it performs great, 9 out of 10. And in the outsole here, good amount of rubber coverage on the bottom of this shoe, so durability is going to be through the roof in this shoe. So pretty much the entire forefoot is covered there, as you can see. We have got a groove here, just to sort of break that rubber up in the forefoot region, just to add to the ride just a little bit. And we've got also some rubber in the high wear areas at the back, but durability wise, there is minimal signs of wear. Historically, this Brooks rubber is always really durable, so this shoe is no different. Now in the grip department, in the dry, it's very tacky and sticky, which is obviously really nice. In the wet though, it is still pretty good. It's probably not up there with the best grips on the market, so it's probably just a little bit down. I did get a little bit of slippage on like a freshly wet road, but nothing concerning at all. Also on the bottom of the shoe, you're going to see a little bit of exposed foam through the middle of the shoe, which is showing no signs of wear at all. It doesn't even touch the ground. This rubber is positioned in a great job that you're not going to scuff that up. Really big cavity through the middle of the shoe as well. Obviously reducing weight, adding to the ride of the shoe, letting this midsole splay, add a bit of bounce to it. And you can see the exposed plate through the bottom of the shoe there as well. Now scores wise, I'd probably like to see maybe just a little bit less rubber on it, maybe to bring the weight down and maybe add a little bit more to the ride of this shoe. But overall, I don't really have any real dramas with the outsole. There's not too much to fault. I'm pretty much nitpicking here. 8.5 out of 10. And in our midsole here, so brand new DNA Flash V2. So it's a good upgrade from the V1. Brooke say it's 10% more responsive, and I think I agree with that. It's certainly got more spring and more pop than over the first version of this shoe. The actual foam compound, even when you look at it and feel it, yeah, it feels totally different. So it's a good upgrade, this Flash 2. Now within their Flash 2 foam, they have got a plate, so a new addition to the Max 2. The V1 didn't have a plate. It's not a carbon plate, it's a Pebax plate, I believe. It feels like plastic, but it's a Pebax plate, so it's going to have more flexibility than a carbon plate. And as you can see there I can flex this shoe quite easily. So it's still stiff, but in terms of a carbon plate, you definitely can't do this with a carbon plate, but it's got a really good amount of a snapback. But it's just got enough structure in it to hold this shoe nice and rigid, so you can really feel the geometry of the shoe. So it's got a 4-foot rocker, which is a rapid roll rocker, and it's certainly up towards the front of the shoe, so it's engineered towards performance, not so much jogging around in the shoe, but you can certainly feel this 4-foot rocker. And in the ride, so the first word that is coming to mind is snappy. So very responsive, and it's a very smooth, efficient ride as well. But so this foam, it's broken in a little bit, so I'm not going to say it has softened right up. It's still on the firmer side of foams on the market and rides on the market. However, it's not as harsh as it was quite out of the box. It's come to life a little bit. And yeah, when this shoe really shines is when you are picking up the pace and hitting this rocker. It's just these transitions are really smooth, and it's just got that really good amount of pop to it. So there's not much sink. It's just a really fast, responsive kickback of the foam, and with this rocker, it just keeps the leads ticking over really, really quickly. So it really enhances like that really quick leg turnover. It really loves you getting onto the rocker of this shoe, and you just go pop, 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 pop along. So really nice at those quick paces. Now, I have changed my tune on this shoe because I didn't think it was that versatile on my first impressions. However, I've done a fair bit of jogging in this shoe, taking it even on some dirt roads, like on some longer runs, and it's certainly, after the foam softened up a bit, and this plate has certainly softened up a bit as well, like it's got a bit more flexibility in it after some runs, and it's certainly better feeling at jogging around in the shoe than I first gave it credit for. So yeah, certainly more versatile than first thought. However, it's still not really a jogging shoe for me. Yes, you can jog in it, you can do your warm up in it and then do your workout in it. However, it's certainly still, its happy place is still the quick stuff. So again, the ride that you're going to get here, it's firm, it's snappy, it's responsive. It's going to feel really good when you pick up the pace. And it's going to feel okay, but it's still going to feel quite firm jogging around. So there is a little bit of squish and pop through the rear, but then you don't get the effects off the rocker if you're really squishing down here. To really get the most out of this shoe, you want to start jumping onto this rocker and really using the geometry of the shoe to get you going. But what this shoe lacks for me is I'd really like it to have a little bit more bounce and a little bit more energy return, and I'd like it at the $300 mark. I'd like to have a little bit of wow factor, which I'm not really finding in this shoe. However, again, it's not a bad ride, and if you value a firm, responsive ride, it's pretty good. That's why it's getting 7.5 out of 10. And best shoes for me, if you haven't worked it out already yet, it's a workout shoe. So its happy place for me is running fast. So on your workouts, your tempo workouts, your threshold runs, if you want to do some intervals in it, this one is good to go. Again, you can do your warm-ups in this shoe, but again, it's gonna feel really nice at those faster paces. And who's this shoe best for? So those people who really value a firm, responsive ride, that don't like those soft and squishy and bouncy foams that are on the market these days. This one is gonna be a great option for you guys. Also for those people who want a shoe that's really gonna last a long time. So really highly durable shoe that you can do all your runs in. So you can do your training in this for your marathon block, you can do your workouts in it, and then you can even race in it, and you can do your park run in this one. So this one is gonna last a long time. And other shoes out there, or some competition for this shoe, if you're considering this one. So first shoe that's coming to mind is the Asics Magic Speed 4. So that shoe is most similar to the ride of this shoe. However, the Magic Speed's a little bit softer through the heel. The geometry though is very similar, and the responsive ride is, yeah, it's very similar. Next shoe is the Saucony Endorphin Speed 4. So again, it's a rocket shoe. However, the foam in that shoe, it's going to be a softer ride than this shoe, and it's also going to have more spring and more bounce as well. And the last shoe I'll mention is the Mizuno Wave Rebellion Flash 2. So that shoe has got a really big rocker in it. However, it's certainly a lot further back in the shoe, and it's a very bouncy ride as well. But that shoe can also handle all the runs that this one can. So overall here, we've got a pretty solid running shoe. So especially if you value a firm, snappy, and responsive ride, it's gonna really protect you from the road. Also, this shoe is, if you're one of those heavier runners and those other shoes out there are too soft and squishy for you, this one is gonna be a great option for you. This shoe is gonna last a very long time, very, very durable, very consistent shoe. So, pretty good scores there, as you can see. Yeah, it did get let down by the price there. However, if in my scoring system, any shoe that's over $300 that doesn't blow me out of the water is always going to score around that sort of area. But all in all, though, very, very solid option here. So it's a buy from me if you value that sort of ride in your running shoes. But anyway, guys, that's it from me. If you've got any questions regarding this shoe, please just drop it in the comments below. And also, if you want to share your own experience because you've already got this shoe, drop it in the comments below and we'll have a chat about that. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you give this video a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and we'll see you next time.